Welcome back to Question and Research. Today's topic is how to research, and I'll be giving some pointers about how to research a topic. If you're a student, this would be a great starting ground for you, or if you're just a person who's not in school and would like to know more about information, this will also help as well too. I feel like even though you're not in school, you are a student of life. So here are a few pointers that I would give when someone has a topic or they are assigned by a teacher or a professor when they're doing a project or a paper. So first, you have to have an interest for the topic. Now I know in school they don't really give you a choice, but try to find something that will interest you. Also, do some soft researching. And what I mean by doing soft researching, go to Google. Google is the number one search engine, and then YouTube is the second research engine. So those two resources are very vital and very good for anyone who wants to do some soft researching. So even if you know the topic, just go in and read about it to refresh your memory, to also articulate some viewpoints, articulate some things that you don't know about. So some things we don't know about, or there's some things that was glossed over, some items that were talked about for a particular subject, it's glossed over, and you'd be like, okay, I don't see too much on that. Let's dig into that and let's see what I can get from it. Also, when you're assigned a paper or a research paper or a project or a presentation that you have to do, make sure you know what kind of sources you are receiving this from. Make sure that your sources are credible, make sure they're accurate, make sure they're time sensitive, and make sure you have enough sources to actually, how can I say this? They bind with all the other sources. So if one source says this, another there's supporting documents, it's supporting documents, supporting sources. These sources are supporting each other because they tend to actually repeat what is being said, but also have their own research attached to it as well. So those are my few pointers on how to research. So, for example, I feel like I'm a student of life. I'm not in school anymore. However, I am interested in different topics that go on and make the world run. So, one topic I was particularly interested in was sleep. The next topic I am interested in is artificial intelligence. But for example, sleep. That's something very common that everybody does. Everybody does, as well as plants, insects, everything. Anything that's pretty much living, everybody sleeps. Everybody has a sleep cycle. Everybody has a sleep chronotype. Everybody sleeps. I remember just growing up, you would hear people say, "How do they become successful?" That was some of their some pointers people would ask, or ask people who are successful, "How do you become successful?" "Oh, I didn't sleep. Team no sleep." So one day I was just like, man, I'm just so tired. What's going on? Sleep is very important for everybody. One thing I was like, why I'm so tired. I don't feel like getting up going to work. What is going on? I exercise, I try to eat right, whatnot. There's some things that I could do better in my life. So as I'm thinking about this, also did a YouTube search. I looked up some things about sleep, listened to a couple of videos. But one day I was in Walgreens and look what I found. Popular Science, the science of sleep. So I was like, okay, one day you gonna go get this magazine, and I did, and I read it. And it's been like a few months ago that I read most of the magazine, but that's when I found out that plants sleep. Also found out something very important when I going back to my point of team no sleep. Everybody was trying to push this whole narrative, no team no sleep, team no sleep. That's how I get all my stuff done. That's how everything. That's how come I'm a multi-millionaire. I'm on my billionaire status. What I found out from this magazine, if you don't get enough sleep, not getting any sleep will kill you. They did a test with rats. That was their testing ground. Although they ate more than everybody all the other rats, they did like a control setting, they still died. And then I start to notice some things. I was like, okay, I also want to get back to being fit again. I also noticed when I was working out, even when I had a health coach, they always promote sleep. You need to sleep. You need to rejuvenate yourself. You need sleep. Also, sleep also helps with rejuvenating your cells. Also, if you don't get enough sleep, you tend to be obese. It can cause you to be obese. Here's some pointers that I found about the lack of sleep. Lack of sleep can cause Lack of sleep and chronic sleep problems can cause or have a higher likelihood of someone developing cancer, heart disease, hypertension, mood swings. You know that's in there, obesity and stroke. So I'm trying to get back into my being healthy again. I also found out you should stop eating a couple of hours or a few hours before you go to bed. Now, I know some people try to go against that. I be seeing things on the internet that's not necessarily true, but when I start to try that, I noticed that I felt a whole lot better when I got up. And I found that out from YouTube when I was watching a video. And so and they say also if you're not getting enough sleep, you tend to eat more because you need some type of energy or some type of energy, because food is energy, to give you that energy to stay up to perform whatever duties that you need to perform. Also, with the research, as I was saying, make sure you have a pen and paper as you're doing a Google search or you're doing a YouTube search. Make sure you have a pen and paper. The most organic way of doing some soft researching is to have pen and paper to write down, jot down what you know. And this will also help you get educated on your subject. But see, I learned all sorts of things about sleep. They said children who, when you're a child, when you're like a toddler, you go into a deep sleep, you tend to remember things more. Um, I just found out a lot of interesting things. So this is the topic that I chose to research on. So thank you. I'm going to cut it here. But thank you for coming to my channel, listening to how to research. I did a topic about sleep because I wanted to know why I had a lack of sleep, or why was I so drowsy or tired every time. It was because one, I was going to bed late. Two, sometimes I was eating too late. And you should at least give yourself 2 hours before you go to bed, at least 2 hours. But if you give yourself 3 or 4 hours before you go to bed without eating, that's even better. Make sure you sleeping in a dark room in a controlled area. Make sure your phone is off, because that light from that phone can also awaken you. And I started doing that, and I noticed my quality of sleep increased and it got better. And also limit your caffeine intake. But again, thank you for coming back to my channel. I'll be back. I want to say tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow to do another video as well. Have a happy day. We're going to get through this time of what's going on around the world. I'm not going to say what it is, but if you saw my last video, you will know what I was talking about. Thank you and have a great one. Bye.